Hey everybody, it's Chad with Nobody Else's Auto. Bringing you a little update on one of my own projects. Now, if you remember here, a little over a year ago, almost a year and a half ago, I picked up a super cool 78 Ford F-250, 3/4 ton, super cab, 2-wheel drive pickup. Now, if you remember, if you saw those videos, and if not, be sure to go back and catch them. This pickup is almost, not quite, but almost a twin to the Ford pickup that my dad had that we hauled cars with when I was a kid. So I was super excited when I found this truck because it brought back so many memories of when we first started buying old cars, when Dad was hauling old Buicks in and things like that. Same color scheme. The only primary difference was this was a square headlight truck. The truck my dad had was a 77 with the round headlights. But other than that, it was two-tone, red and white, super similar, 460 automatic. Almost a twin to this truck. So I've had it for a while. I've had it in storage. I needed to get a few things done with it, so we got it in here. And the first thing I had to get done, about every third time I move this truck, on the front, on these carburetors, they have a little inlet. Where the inlet is in the car, they've got a little screen in it. Well, there was so much trash in these tanks that about every third time I moved this truck, I'd have to pull that little filter out and empty the trash out of that screen. So obviously, first and foremost, I need to get something done with the fuel system on this truck. So that's where I'm at right now. I've got it in the shop and just got a tank dropped out of it. So we're going to show you where we're at right now. Well, here she is in the shop. I've got her on the lift, but I didn't go all the way up with it. I didn't know how much fuel was in the tank of this thing for sure. And I don't have like a tranny jack for the lift, so I wanted to keep it kind of close to the floor so I could use a floor jack to lower the tank. So I put the front arms under it, got myself a little bit more clearance under this thing so I could work and get this tank dropped out. Now, fortunately, everything cooperated as this thing was coming out. Bolts unscrewed fine on the straps, didn't break or anything, just took a little time to make sure we had everything unhooked. So we've got this side tank dropped out. I did the side tank first, reason being, there are two different possibilities on the side tank. There's a 20 and a 22.5 gallon. The rear tank, obviously we can see we've got a fuel door there and a fuel door there. So this is a dual tank truck. The rear tanks are all the same. This side tank could be one of two choices. So there's only one way to know for sure, get it out. So that's what we did and worked perfectly fine. There was quite a bit of fuel in it, so I'm really glad that I did keep it low to the ground and use my floor jack to help lower this thing down. So, but we'll see if we can take a look in here, because after I got this tank out, it was pretty obvious to see why I was fighting it so bad. We'll see if we can get some light in here and see if we can see kind of what is going on inside of this tank. If I can get the light at the right angle, which is kind of tough, but there we go. We can kind of see down in there. Not extremely clear, but pretty crusty. That's some awfully brown looking fuel in there. And we can see rust on the sending unit and pretty crusty. So obviously, you know, that's the only way to really fix it. Just get tanks for it, be done with it. So that's what I'm going to do. Pick up new tanks for this thing and get them replaced. So, but like I said, fortunately it came out fine. Didn't have any issues there. So that's where we're at right now. We're going to get some new fuel tanks for this thing, and then hopefully we'll at least be able to move the thing around and start doing some of the other maintenance that this truck is going to need. So the brakes are a little soft. It's going to need tires. You know, obviously belts, hoses, tuned up, all that stuff. So, but obviously getting good tanks in here, get this nasty rust out of the fuel system to where I can get this thing at least mobile, get it moving around and start doing some other work on it. And eventually, hopefully one of these days, we're going to go out and maybe haul a few more cars with this Super Cab F-250, just like I did when I was a kid when we were hauling them in with Dad's pickup. So there she is. That's where we're at as of right now. And while we've got it up, we'll slide underneath it real quick, take a look under the bottom of it so you can see that too while we've got this tank out. Like I said, while we're under here, we'll give you a quick glimpse of what the bottom of this thing looks like. And it's a little crusty, it's a little dirty, but overall, pretty excited about what the structural condition of this old 78 F-250 really is. We can see the body mounts, we can see the structure. Overall, this thing still looks pretty good under here. It's 45 years old. It's going to have some dirt and some grime on it, but we don't have rust issues, which is really exciting. So we can see we've got the tank dropped out of this side over here, where we just dropped that one out, and just good to see nice, clean, original metal on the bottom side of this Ford pickup. Well, we've got all the nasty fuel dumped out of the tank, and it's pretty much about what I expected inside. It's pretty nasty. We got the sending unit sitting right here. You can kind of see what it looks like, and it's pretty tough. Not only did I have the sending unit, I actually saved a little bit of the fuel to show you guys what came out of this thing, and that's the gas that came out of this tank. So, like I said, pretty much what I expected to find based on the amount of rust and debris that I found in the fuel line every time this thing kept plugging up. So since I've got the sending unit out of the tank, we'll actually see if we can get some light in there and kind of show you guys exactly what this thing looks like inside, just because I'm sure some of you are curious. And there it is. That's what it looks like inside. Pretty crusty, pretty nasty, lots of trash. So, but like I said, basically about what I expected to find when I dropped this tank, just because of the amount of trash I found in the fuel line. Like I told you earlier, about every third time I moved this thing, I had to stop and clean the screen out on the front of the carburetor because it was plugged up. And when we look at this and the inside of the tank and the fuel that came out of it, pretty obvious what my situation was. And like I said, literally exactly what I expected to find when I pulled the tank. So we're gonna get some new ones for it and replace both tanks and hopefully get that problem fixed. So there we are. That's what's going on with the Ford. Got the Camaro still moved over here off to the side. Still want to try to get some more done with that. But as of right now, I want to get these tanks in this Ford and try to get this thing mobile. Got so tired of having to clean that screen out of the front of the carburetor every time I move this pickup. So we'll get those tanks replaced, get some lines replaced, get them flushed out, and hopefully get this fuel system up and in good condition on the 78 F-250. So stay tuned as we start doing a little more maintenance, a little more work on this thing. Be sure to check it out. Keep up with us as we're moving along with it. And hopefully sometime in the near future, we'll go take this thing, we'll hook the trailer up to this thing, and we'll go out and pick up some cool iron with it. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned. More to come on this 78 F-250.